All right, welcome everybody. Today on Dave Cooper Live, we walk through the construction technique and products used to build this completely off-the-grid custom design home in Central Texas. From gray water reuse to solar power, the high design showcases radius building connections and passive house principles. See what's next for this Nexus Villa as we are joined by Andrew Seeley from G-Pods America and the one, the only, Mark Bare Naked Willie. Will this be coming to a neighborhood near you soon? Only one way to find out. But first, we have to thank our sponsors. So a big shout out to Forward Solutions Group, Ben Hershey and Joe Butler. They are a team with more than 175 years of experience developing and specifying manufacturing for panelized and volumetric industries with best practices in development and implementation. They offer consulting with investors, developers, manufacturers, and builders using off-site manufacturing methods. Forward Solutions is driving companies to succeed where others have failed. For more information, reach out to Ben at forwardsolutionsgroup.com. And also a big thank you to Howick. Howick is a pioneer in the technology of precision light steel roll forming machines. For over 40 years, their commitment to innovation in cold form steel, also known as light gauge steel, precision manufacturing, uncompromising quality, and exemplary customer service have defined the Howick way. Their commitment underpins the competitive advantage enjoyed by their customers. To learn more, visit their website, Howick Ltd. So a big thank you and a big shout out to both of our sponsors. We cannot do what we do without them each and every day. Now, today is a fun day because we were just somewhere in Texas, and we are on this job site location talking about a home that is just really a concept. How do we develop better products? Who comes up with the ideas for a better product, a better design, a healthier product, a more energy efficient design? These just don't fall off the side of a truck on the side of a road and happens. There is a lot of work that goes into this. There's a lot of preparation that goes into this, and there is a ton of collaboration that goes into this. So today we are going to be live on location, kind of, sort of, in two ways. One, we did a beautiful pre-recorded video that we're going to run through here in a moment. And two, we actually have Andrew on location as the build is happening. And three, Mark is going to be joining us as well. So why don't we, without further ado, let's bring in Andrew Seeley first. What is up, Andrew? Oh, we're getting a little grainy there, but I'm sure that's going to come through. And we got the Mark Bare Naked Willie with us. What is happening, Mr. Willie?
Happy Friday?
Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I know. There's that Twitch again. There's that Twitch. What's up, Andrew? Can you hear us okay, Andrew?
Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
I can hear
awesome.
you just fine, loud and clear.
Well, so Andrew, since we were last there, Mark, it looks like he put a temporary roof over his head, huh?
I got to tell you, Andrew, it's a beautiful site. And that roof over the top, it just proves you're always one step ahead of everyone, including Mr. Sunshine.
Including the sunshine. That's right. He's been getting some rain, but that probably provides some nice shade as well. All right, listen, we have a show today that is going to be twofold. One, we got a video that we did to walk through, Mark, Andrew, and myself while we were all together last week in Texas somewhere. And then we're going to have a Q&A afterwards. So why don't we get to that video and show what's going on? Andrew, you can keep working and do what you have to do. Enjoy it, everybody. Here we go.
Okay.
Hey everybody, we are in San Antonio, Texas, somewhere. And we are on a magnificent piece of property with Andrew Seeley from G-Pod America, Mark Willie from BS Friday, and T-Stud. What's up, fellas?
Hey.
This is a Sunday that I love. What a place to be.
It is absolutely gorgeous out here. Andrew, tell us a little bit about what you have going on and a little bit of why you're doing it.
Hey everybody, so this is our prototype for a new product. This one is called Villa, and we're developing it for the first time. So you're going to get to see a little bit of that. We've got some friends here to showcase it, so let's go talk about it.
We are going to go talk about it. Mark, I mean, prototype. What is a prototype, and why in the building science world are they so important to do?
So you're proving your model, right? It's a working, living document of every reiteration and all of those to follow. So this is the one to watch.
It is the one to watch. So outside of this cool prototype behind us and this cool orange car behind us, why don't we go inside and talk a little bit about what's happening inside the home?
Cool.
Sound good?
Yeah.
So here we go. All right. We'll follow Jennifer in. She's the camera operator today. So tell us a little bit about the property, Andrew, as we're walking in here.
Yeah, so this is a large property. It's off-grid. There's no utility power or water. So we do everything with solar and rainwater here. And it's all been put in place so that we could work here and do the build with renewables. So we've got the solar powering all the infrastructure that we need, water and power, obviously, for the tools and everything like that, so we can build.
And you're not kidding. Jen, can you show behind us a little bit what's going on over here? I know the sun's probably glaring that out, but you're absolutely right. Everything is off-grid.
Yep, that's
everything.
Right. That's
so
right.
There is no water. There's no city water. There's no city power.
Nope.
You are self-contained on this property.
That's right.
All right, let's walk in and check some of this stuff out. So with that said, how many buildings are on the property right now?
Oh, 7.
7.
Yeah.
And no city power,
Nothing.
And
We use this bright light in the sky, which you can see today. You see all these shadows. So we use that to power everything.
Yeah. So to power everything, and then you have your own water collection.
That's right.
The roof is collecting the rainwater. In fact, we all showered in rainwater last night.
That's right.
Under the stars.
Under the stars. Let's go over here so the sun's not in the camera's eyes, and we're going to talk about what's happening behind us and get a little bit into what's going on this side as well. So with that said, you're not just building a prototype with all the angles and designs. You're building something that's going to be energy efficient, can be used off grid no matter where you place these in the future. Talk us through the idea behind how the construction's happening.
Okay, so we're building a prototype of an industrialized building, but we will have kit parts and hybrid as well as the prefab products. This is the first one, so we're getting our design together and we're doing it off-site because that's how we have to do it in this case. This product is meant to go anywhere you want a building, whether it's urban, suburban, or in the bush like this. So, you've got a lot of flexibility there. We can scale it however big we need it to be. But this one is different because this product is different for us as G-Pod, trying to reach the highest possible standards with performance and keep the really appealing designs that we're known for. So this is a challenge for us. We're doing a lot of wood. It's engineered wood. We're learning a little bit about it, and it's pretty fascinating, folks. So, check out what we're doing. We're really trying to learn how to achieve the high performance, and that would be Passive House. So we're trying to make a clear, simple standard, something that we can work with internally, and this is why it's exciting out here.
So Mark, Passive House. Do you know anything about Passive House, Mark?
So we depend on our environment, right?
That's right.
So we're requiring less on our building stock, both new and existing.
That's right.
So less energy is needed for the health, maintenance, and durability of the people inside and the structure itself.
That's right. One of the amazing things that's not only happened with the way you're doing the construction and using some of the technology on the exterior walls with engineered wood, but everything's also centrally located. So you have a core plumbing system that's happening here, not only for the plumbing, but also for the mechanicals that are going in. Why don't you walk us through why you did a core in this building and what value it brings to the consumer out there?
Yeah, I think, it's a flexible design that allows people to build the scale they need, but all the units would have a module that's a core module. So we try to package all the plumbing and mechanical in one place. It's cheaper, it's easier to build, it's way more efficient. You don't have gallons and gallons of water in a plumbing line that you've got to waste in order to get hot water from your water heater. So there's all kinds of efficiency built in there, not just in the manufacturing end or the building end, but in the use end. And it limits your risk for water. It makes it easier to service things, and just overall the design is a lot better. So I think you'll see a lot of companies doing that, but that's certainly something that fit for us, what we wanted to do.
Overall, you take the idea of the core plumbing and mechanical, and then you tie that in with a properly built and sealed envelope.
That's right.
And this is how you achieve passive house. It's not rocket science. It's really a lot of common sense. Isn't that right, Mark?
That's
It's
right.
not rocket science, it's building science. He's created efficiency. He's certainly sustainable, right? Light impact to the earth from the ground itself, 12 footings.
Yes.
And the traveling of the ventilation, electric, and plumbing has been reduced to a small square footage of 12 foot by 10 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this particular model is being designed to be modular, and I do like what you said about the low impact on the earth, right? Off-grid living, sustainable living, passive house, all of those things you want to have as little impact on the environment as you possibly can, and you're absolutely right. This is on kind of a pier system with some engineered wood, and that means everything and anything can just flow right underneath, but it doesn't affect the ability for you to live comfortably in this house.
Right. That's right.
All right, so let's talk about the wall system here and why you're doing it. So let's go over here. Mark and Andrew, walk us through the value of what's happening here with the engineered lumber. And grab me that piece right there so we can hold it up and show the crowd. Mark, you have a big part in this product. Andrew, Mark, walk us through what the value of this is.
Well, Dave, there are a lot of values. Mark's hand is passing between the space and the thermal break there, and that lets us run cable, data, plumbing, everything through the wall, no drilling. Yeah. There's a lot more room for insulation, and it's a thermal break to keep heat from the outside. Here we have, in climate zone 2A, we have a lot of humidity and a lot of heating days, cooling days, sorry. So, you know, it's important to keep the heat out of the house, to let the equipment not work as hard and use less energy. So this is a big achievement here, to use something that's thermally broken to frame with, and that gives us a huge number of advantages for running plumbing and everything else, data, and so electrical. It's easier.
So that's the engineered side, and then let's talk a little bit about the science behind this. And you're also doing a double wall system, staggered. Right. So this is going to come out a little bit further. So you don't have to do that in every house with this, but you chose to do a double wall system on this for particular reasons. Mark, first of all, tell us about the science behind what we are looking at here with this.
Absolutely, Dave. So we have a 2x3 and a 2x3. They're drilled, they're doweled, they're glued. It produces a 5.5, 6 inch. Well, what's special, like Andrew noted? Thermal break, 1.5 thermal break. No coring, no boring, no drilling, no sweeping. All of his Cat 5 low voltage runs right through here. So why is that thermal break important for the wall assembly here? They're off grid again. So we want to require less renewables for the space to be comfortable. So this is not allowing that Texas heat to transfer. Yeah. And then they do something really special. They're going to turn around and they're going to create another double wall. Why? Because that added depth is giving them a greater R value, a larger resistance to the heat from the outside transferring, and that is right around 11 plus inches. Figure an R5, it's an R50 plus effective wall with 3 thermal breaks.
Yeah.
Well done.
3 thermal breaks. So what does that mean to the consumer? That means a healthier, more comfortable, more sustainable, takes less energy to run this, especially if you're off the grid, but even if you're not, you'll lose that less energy. All right, Andrew, so we're going to expect updates along the way on what you're doing here, and we're going to come back hopefully and film some more, because this is an awesome product that you're putting together, and people really have to understand, to be better, people like Andrew need to be out here doing prototypes and trying new things, using new products that are changing the way we build, because we can't keep doing it the way we've been doing it. It's just not working. So thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome, Dave. Thanks for checking out one of our new architectural product designs, and we'll keep you guys posted. We look forward to more, and we'll see you all back here on Friday, right?
That's right. Hey, listen, it's all about building science. I'm Dave Cooper. We got Mark Barenaked Willie with us and Andrew Seeley from G-Pod. We'll see you on a follow-up update.
Can't wait.
All right. Love it, love it, love it. Well done, Andrew. You are a rock star. You might take my job. I don't know if we should go on anymore.
Never, never, never. We need you, man.
Well, listen, Mark and Andrew, you guys have been working together on this project, talking about the thermal, breaks, thermal bridges, what they are, what they're not, right? Texas heat is hot. It was blazing hot when we were there. And then they got the humidity and other things that come about. So let's get into the concept of this and why the concept, so we can start getting this dialogue going. Like, who in their right mind just says, I'm just going to start building concept buildings to come up with a better idea? Well, I know who, but tell us, why is that?
Dave, it's really all about trying to envision what buildings look like in the future. So we're taking what we have today, a lot of it is new, and we're trying to configure things in a way that has meaning as we develop what the future product looks like. So that's where our perspective is headed, and that's what we're concerned with right now.
Sure. And Mark, from your perspective, you've been in this industry a long time. You've been part of so many projects from Passive House and others. What is your take on what's happening out there from your professional opinion and how this is all coming together? And is this the way you normally have seen it through the years with Passive House coming to life, or is this a new way of doing it?
Andrew is an exceptional person. We've grown a great friendship. So I have a strong bias towards awesome people. And the project itself is awesome because of the people he involved, Dave. And the basic premise, right? When we just saw the video, we saw it all kind of put together, but he's got separate 12 by 24 modules that are set up on there. And so the part that impresses me the most is the building as we see it is only one configuration that they're achieving. They can go deeper, they could go taller, they could even fan out into a shape. There's no limitation. And you heard Andrew mention the part that makes me most happy is it could be done on site, right? If you're looking for a plan set, contact them. It could be panelized, it could be prefab, it could be modular, all the things that are in the Dave Cooper Live soapbox, right?
Okay.
It's truly inclusive.
Stop. So, Andrew, and I heard this while I was out there, but I'm not sure my ears fully took the dialogue into my brain. So you're designing the project that anybody could do this in a modular facility if they wanted to, so to speak. They could do it in a panelized facility, or they could site build it. And you're putting together the plans in a way to where this could pretty much work at any location on any property around the world, for that matter. So there's really 3, maybe even 4 ways of building this structure. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we think there are 3 ways that we can deliver this solution. So if anybody's looking for something like this, we'd be happy to help. Dave, the reason that we're working with a lot of small pieces, so we call that a kit apart solution. So that lets us bring smaller assemblies in to a site where access is difficult. So if you don't have the width or height or the type of access road that you'd need to get some really big assemblies in there, like a totally prefab module, then we can do it with panelized. If it's even smaller, we need to use donkeys to haul the parts in, then we can do that as well with our kit of parts. So it's still a primarily off-site solution. We intend to utilize as much of the off-site supply chain as we can to improve the quality of the product and the performance of the product, and also the ease of assembly. So we really want to leverage all those things. And when we get to the point where we can deliver all those types of solutions, it means we're doing more projects in more places, and we can really start to make a difference in what the buildings of the future look like.
I can't wait to get a phone call from you, Andrew, and have Dave on the line, all of us, and you're going to say, I have the burros and the donkeys arriving. Mark, Dave, meet me with carrots. Let's bring in the walls.
Yeah. You'll need the carrots. Probably, every time you work with donkeys, you need carrots.
Yeah, especially in this bring special boots, Dave, so we watch where we step.
Oh yeah, I'm going to bring a saddle because I'm gonna be riding one of them donkeys. Right? I mean, come on now, donkeys.
We'll get you one wheel, Dave.
But it's a really good point, right? When you say, hey, you have the design for prefab and modular,
right?
But there's site limitations on many projects. David, Jennifer are utmost familiar with this. So in that case, it'll become panelized, flat pack, if you will, and then based on the size of the structure they choose from you, that's how many panels will get offloaded.
Yep,
Sure.
that's right.
Is anybody out there right now that has designed their product to work like this is working that you know of, Mark? I mean, I really don't know anybody where you can go and you can get a product either modular, panelized, or site built, and you know have a set of plans for each, for that matter. And two, you know, obviously factories matter because jigs are different, sizes are different, so there is some of that, and we're going to jump into that next. But I don't think there's anybody out there doing it yet, but it makes a whole heck of a lot of sense to have a factory that can put the same product out 3 ways.
It does, and again, that speaks to the listening and the awareness that Andrew and his team has. They know that there's modular and prefab companies that could take on other work, and so it shoehorns into that really cleanly. My guess is, Dave, there's someone in Japan or Scandinavia that has done something like this at some level, maybe one of our friends from Canada. I'm not aware of anyone in North America that has accomplished it, or anyone that has accomplished it with a sense of high performance, high design, and off-grid light impact. That just brings it full circle.
It does. Where's Jerry McCaughey? Jerry, here you go, man. You can sell your panels and full modules. You know what? It's kind of funny. I already know without even talking to Jerry that his mind's already spun through that 100 times. He's just that good. He is just that good. So anyhow, Andrew, I mean, Jamie Milan says, love the flexibility to construct on-site or off-site, whether panelized or modular. That's absolutely awesome. It is awesome. And Jamie, where have you been? You're in trouble, young man. We haven't seen Jamie on the show in a while, have we, Mark? He must be busy. He's a young go-getter.
Well, the requirement is on Friday he bring 3 friends, and then we're all made up again. Right?
That's right. That's right. Three times 3 friends. So that's 9 friends, Jamie. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. All right. So getting into it, Andrew. When you design this plan set to, you know, how are you going to work with the manufacturer or several manufacturers? How does all this come together once the concept is over?
Yeah, so we envision lots of different markets for this type of product. So we're based, of course, Teapot is based out of Australia, but our territory is the Americas, North, Central, and South America, and the Caribbean. But we, as a group, have global projects. So we're looking at all the different types of regions and supply chains. So we're trying to build systems that allow us the flexibility to pick manufacturers with capacity enough to do what we need. And maybe they're panelized, maybe they're volumetric, maybe they're offering technology, their own IP that's in a smaller format, like T-Stud or someone like that. So we're trying to make sure that we can leverage those opportunities in the existing supply chains wherever we need to do a project.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So with this project, you've been collaborating with a lot of people that are out there, right? Because this isn't just a cookie cutter type product that you're putting out there. In fact, I saw a comment on here. I might as well put it up from May. High performance, high design, low impact, rinse and repeat, right? There's the efficiency. There's the low impact on the environment. And I see you out there, Diana Sunshine. She's lighting us up, man. She doesn't want us killing trees and all that stuff, and talks about hemp, and we are working on that. That's why we have the show with hemp on now, to find better ways to do things. But as of right now, this is still the way it's moving forward, and we have a major housing shortage. But with that said, this is high design. I mean, these are beautiful, and I know we're going to share some pictures of this, and in fact, some of the posts leading up to it. How do you bring high design together with this approach with manufacturing? Because that's always been an issue that a lot of manufacturers have had.
Yeah, well, that's hard, Dave. I mean, I think the collaboration atmosphere is pretty strong in the community right now. I think everybody is, the incumbents that are comfortable where they are not participating, but people that want to know what the future looks like and want to participate in shaping the future and being part of that next generation processes and materials. Those are the people that have reached out to us, and we've reached out to. So I think your audience, both you and Mark, are very familiar with the community side of this. You guys are building that very thing, and so I think your audience would recognize a lot of what we're doing because it is collaborative. There isn't any precedent really, so we're having to innovate as a group, and this is a difficult project because we're dealing with a lot of the tension between high design, the art side of buildings, and the performance side of buildings, which wants us to do less glass and simpler shapes. So that's our struggle. We're typically the team that's between the engineers and the architects trying to make the best possible solution come from this inherent tension in our world. So we like that. We think it's a cool challenge, and the fun part of the community is the collaboration and new ideas and maybe even a new energy in some cases where they see an opportunity to do something different with the work they've already done. Maybe it slots well into what we're looking at for the future.
Well, let's show a picture of what this is going to look like, and then after we look at this picture, let's come back and talk about the science behind some of this stuff and the collaboration of the folks that you've been working with to come up with new ideas, how to pull things together. Mark even has a t-shirt on. Somebody was out there with us, but we won't say that name just yet, working on how do you flash all these radius designs and all that. So when we come back, let's show this first. So, I mean, that's beautiful. That is super cool. It's almost, it's like that contemporary, modern, futuristic, but yet can fit into anywhere.
Yeah, we kind of maybe we think of ourselves as being 1950s futuristic. So the first product that we came out with was a Dwell. That was a structural metal building. This is showcasing another approach, a lot more renewable materials in the natural space, like wood, and it's a different look for us, but this is a very broad system design. So we're trying to provide a development system for people who are on one end, maybe a DIY builder, the other end, maybe a developer that needs a range of high design solutions for a marketplace. They really want to stand out. They want to perform well in, we're not just about looking good. We want to work well. So we envision these products are going to outlast what else they've built before and have lower operational burdens. So in the end, that means the buildings last a lot longer and they don't need as much effort to maintain them.
Sure.
It's an interesting rendering here. So what we're able to depict is that achievement made to limit the site impact. It's a big focus of Andrew's. So it seems as if it's floating off the ground. There's a minor penetration for the water, for the drain, and for the solar run, and this version shows the solar panels on the roof. But Andrew took a pivot on this and created something pretty incredible that Dave and I got to experience. You want to elaborate on what happened to the solar plan on this one, Andrew?
Yeah. So Mark, and Dave, you probably know as well, we do a few different things. One of our big focuses is providing power and water infrastructure to the job site. And what we wanted to showcase with this project, it wasn't really on the table at first, but what we wanted to showcase was the ability for us to bring the power infrastructure and the water infrastructure in ahead of time to the job site, so that the entire building process is fueled by renewables and you're not running generators and then putting up solar after the building is done. So I think that's fairly unique, and we think it's a really good idea. We had some supply chain issues getting systems in the past because of obviously the same conditions everybody else has. But we were able to get our system secured before the job started, and we had the ability to fabricate our own solar arrays. We have pretty amazing talent on the team, so we were able to fabricate that stuff on site and then get that system installed and operational so that as the building goes together, we're powering it with our own renewable system that's part of the project and that we can deliver to other customers as well.
So I have the video up, and I have in the background, I have the big water, the holding tank that's there. That's that big brown holding tank for the water. But then behind is, I mean, you got a bunch of containers on site, and these containers aren't just for tools. The one that you can't see behind the one that has the solar panels on top is a battery warehouse, you know, right? With the batteries that you're storing all this energy. And one, I got to say this, it is one of the most well-organized, clean, neat job sites for somebody who's doing something that's really a test and a concept that I've been on in a long, long time. But man, you got it dialed in, and you're right. You got all the other structures on there that's all being run off the grid. And those cisterns or the water tanks that you have here, that's not just a water buffalo coming in and filling it up. You're collecting this water from the rain, and you had a lot of it, so you must have a lot of water right now.
Yeah.
This is part of what the whole concept is behind what you're doing. It's not just the structure, it's how the whole property functions, lives, and interacts with the environment.
Yeah, that's really true, Dave. Just as a side note for anybody that's interested, we fabricated those solar arrays. Those are attached to the corner castings of the containers that we're using to, you know, they're all products for us. So as the project goes on, you'll see those, but those are actually trackers.
All right, so just I looked at this. This is cool. So I got to just say it, Andrew. All right, so you know how the containers, they have locking mechanisms for when they're on ships. What Andrew is saying is, for the steel structures that are holding those solar panels, they have designed a system for these containers to go in and lock in the corners of those containers. So, I mean, there's a ton of thought and fabrication that went into this. So when I say it's a super clean job site, these just aren't welded to the side of a container. They fit together like Legos. It's an amazing thing.
The other highlight, Dave, is so we're off grid on a light impact. I'm going to drive that point home. I always say light impact because it's a term I learned from Andrew. So it's off grid, light impact. And then when you think of off grid being clean, you wouldn't have that mindset prior. So you have that all established, and then you have a quiet job site. We were able to converse, talk about ideas, review thoughts and sequences. All three of us, well, there's like 10 of us, but the three of us were there, and it was completely silent because the batteries and solar panels were doing the job of those loud, obnoxious generators that get in your head, and they even have a welder on site working off of the solar panels. Remarkable.
No generator.
The last thing I'll say, Dave, you pointed out so well the unique fitting that they made for the corner casters, but those solar panels are not stagnant. They're actually tracker, so you can adjust them based on, you know, well, the sun stays put, but the rest of us move, right? So
that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, those are trackers. We don't have them deployed right now because they're kind of crowded where they are. They would shade each other, but we'll put the hardware on those, and those will be tracker units for us. So they'll follow the sun during the day. They can adjust for seasonal, what season it is. You know, the sun's a little lower here in the wintertime, and so it adjusts for seasonal and daily sun tracking.
Let's talk about the collaboration of the people that you have been working with and people that have from all over the world have been helping you with this project. We might as well start with, Jen put it up there, thought I saw earlier, Mr. Bob Kelly from Wickwright. He was out there when we were out there, and Bob Kelly's been on the show talking about flashing and how we are doing it wrong. And not only does he talk about how we've been doing it wrong on newer buildings to include, he shows us prime examples in one of our previous shows we did on BS Friday. So you want to go check that out because it'll blow your mind what's happening to your masonry buildings especially. But he came all the way out to work with you on how do you do the flashing on the radius. So how's that working out for you?
It's good. I mean, this kind of project, it's not maybe as simple as it could be because we're thinking about a lot of the different applications, the need of the customer varies. So some people are going to be in an urban environment where rainwater collection is difficult. So we've got three different paths that we're looking at. So we really spent the time while everyone was there to discuss the various possibilities and then try to plan how we would address individually the challenges of managing the water. And the good thing is we have a lot of choices. The hard thing is some of those are equally appealing. So yeah, we just wanted to cover, flashing is so important, and the passive house people would admonish us all the time that water might be mass water might be the most important single effort in the design. So we've got different choices. None of them are exclusively perfect. So we're really just working through those and how do we want to do it here, because we're so dependent on rainwater here. We don't want to waste any of it. I mean, we can haul in water if we want to. We're close to a city, but we'd like to be operating on rainwater all the time if possible. And so we're keen on leveraging that. So we do have some choices. I mean, that's probably the biggest challenge, is figuring out what are those choices and how do we go forward. So luckily the folks in the network are experts, and we can depend on them as we go along.
It's a real tactful way of saying it, Andrew. The joy of collaboration. You guys heard the back and forth while we were all together. Is 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads, 6 heads are better than one.
Yeah.
So when you come up with multiple solutions, then the collective has done their input, and the mayor says, this is where we're going. Well, Andrew's the mayor, right? So it's really important. But those other solutions that were brought to the table, although they might not be adopted, they're still included into other regions. So no idea brought forward that isn't used, that doesn't mean it's not a successful idea. It means it could be applicable elsewhere. So it's in the think tank. It's on the board. We pinned it there. And again, the fact that the building changes shape based on the size it needs to be, that allows for different decisions to be made for the region. And you guys brought up the solar. The amazing thing about this light impact build is that the building is also orientated, Dave, so that they can bring in the light in the rooms they need it. And they establish solar shading in that wonderful rendering on the south side, and then the porches on the east and west, and the north side, there's not a lot of solar shading needed. And those are beautiful transom, extraordinary large fixed glazings. That's on the other side of the rendering. It's over Andrew's right shoulder right now.
So, yeah, and you're absolutely right, Mark. And so what Mark's talking about, not only the covered area, but around these windows, right? These are all going to be built out to, work with the solar gain or not the solar gain, right? And how that's going to affect the inside temperature of the structure, not only the temperature, but the ambient light and everything else that comes in there.
Yeah, the ambient light will be available, but the direct solar radiation line will be more available in the winter months based on the line of the sun. So it's just, and it happens to be, as May pointed out, it happens to also contribute to the design aesthetic, right? So it's a functional choice. It's not putting extra material on for a wow. It's the wow is what it's doing for science. Yeah. And the wow is that really sexy look you've mentioned.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the collaboration, so we can point some things out, Andrew. What other products are you using and collaborating with on this, and what are you looking for, right? Because that's part of this. I want everybody to understand why I have Andrew back on the show. Outside, I just love G-Pod, and I like Andrew as a human being, but like, this is really taking it to the next level. This isn't just drawing on a CAD system. This is putting a CAD system in play with practicality to try and design something that is better. And that's what's super important about why we have Andrew on the show. Other than that, he looks like he should be on GQ, this guy, all the time, you know? Rides his one board around like he's 10. But the fact of the matter is you're taking something to the next level. So I really want to see, you know, if there's things out there that you need, like you've gotten some house barrier, you know, vapor wraps and other products from people that are out there. What is it that you're looking for or that you need help on, and who do you want to thank that's already helped you?
Oh, there's so many people. I'm not prepared to thank all of them now. There's some of them haven't started helping yet. Some of them have finished. I mean, from the architectural, the structural, the civil, the mechanical, we've got, there's so many people here. I mean, right now we're putting on some product from Adam White at Intelligent Membranes. You know, we've got so many engineered wood products here. Obviously, T-Stud. There's Viz Graphics, who's doing the renderings for us. A lot more work there to come. There's so many people. Rotoblast, obviously, a lot of different types of solutions we're working on now. You know, there's the mechanical is passive house stuff. So we're using a Minotaur system and a Sandon heat pump. We're using Lumen Cache for data. There's a whole ton of people that are participating from the community that you guys have built just really a year and a half ago. A lot of folks there have wanted to participate, and we're including them. So, you know, the other side of it is that there's different projects in different locations and need different approaches. So we're not hoping to exclude anyone. This is a really inclusive project, and we need the support from the people that have the types of solutions that are required for a specific application. Yeah. So hopefully that's clear. You know, we'll do a lot of accolades and gratitude expressions later, but you know, we're not done yet, and so we want to leave the door open. We have a lot of different choices, and we're trying to make them in good building science perspective, but at the same time, we want to leave things open because it's always different depending on where we're going. So
I could add to it if you're giving me the liberty, Dave and Andrew. There,
go ahead.
So, because you have this wall that's on your left, Andrew, and then you have the wall that's on your right that's taller because it's pitched. Those are predominantly your outside walls, and the other two walls have really nice access points for the glazing and the entrance. So with those walls, perhaps maybe 2, 3, 4 different insulation suppliers can be involved. So later on, your team can do some therm testing and show the options of different insulation, both materials and processes of install. And then, of course, because it's raised off the ground, you have the bottom floor trusses and you have the roof floor trusses that are going to require another insulation. And I got to say, you know, Dave, Andrew, if I was an insulation supplier, I would say, knock, knock, knock. I don't know where you are in Texas, but can I come in and can I create resistance to that heat and provide you more comfort so we can be involved in other projects and you can test us out? That'd be brilliant.
That's a great example, Mark. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I mean, because this is something we're going to continue following. I just think it's that important to show that people are out there doing this hard work and really trying to make things better. And I believe in what you're doing, Andrew. And I know, Mark, you do as well. And T-Stud's done product as well. And I think that if Mark is right, if you're out there and you think you have something to offer this project, I highly recommend you reach out to Andrew. As this project goes forward, I know myself, I can't speak for Mark, but my guess is we will be having this back on our show as it progresses, and we will make sure that we give you some shout outs for helping out on projects like this. It's not just product, it's knowledge. If you have science and knowledge behind the things you've been doing, I think Andrew's asking for that as well. So, all right, why don't we go to a couple comments here real quick, and then we'll get back to promoting Andrew Seeley and G-Pods. You know, what the heck? And by the way, this is not a paid advertisement by Andrew. This is us wanting to showcase what he's doing. So you can pay me
Thanks so
later,
much.
Andrew. Buy me a beer.
Okay.
All right, May says high performance, high design, low impact, rinse and repeat. We love that. May's busy on here. We are going to add high tech to this solution too. Perfect.
I love that. We've never had the word high tech used, and I could see Jennifer scrambling in the background saying another T-shirt for Dave Cooper Live. Thank you, May.
High tech. We need high tech on building science. We need a high tech building science show, Mark. Maybe once a month we do high tech building science.
And since we have someone more handsome, maybe Andrew joins us, Dave.
Yeah, well, listen, Andrew. I ran this morning. I'm going to the gym. You're inspiring me to look better. All right, all right, Diana, Sunshine Wolf. I love off grid. Greater than 3. Thank you, Diana.
I don't know. I don't know the greater than 3. What that means in this case? Am I missing something?
That's a heart. It's a heart.
Oh, okay, got it.
Oh, it's a heart. I got it wrong too. Dang it, Diana. You gotta give me a heads up on these things. I don't know what that meant, but it is a heart. Look, that's cool. Yeah. I don't know. Diana was busy today. Where is the wood source from in these builds? She asks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all North American. I think Mark might have some ideas about that. Southern, South Central U.S. I guess it's Southeastern U.S. and probably a little bit Northwestern too, Diana. As far as I know, it's a little bit tricky. A lot of it gets stamped. Some of the stuff's assembled in Louisiana, so
Hey, Louisiana, some Creole. I'm down here. I'll check on it. I'll see if I can pick you up some lumber. I'm down there eating some gumbo.
The unique part about your build with the wood question, Andrew, is every supplier, the trusses, the glue lambs, and of course the thermally broken studs, those are all engineered products. So they're using smaller forms of wood to create more stable structural forms. And for sure, all of your suppliers are North American based, and that fiber primarily comes from the Northeast, or certainly from our friends in Canada.
All right, look, I'm not looking to push T-studs here, but I got to ask this. Because the T-stud is engineered with smaller trees, right? I guess you can use smaller trees because it's smaller wood. That means faster growth, faster reproduction without taking down big trees.
Dave, you're hired. Look at that. See? Perfect spot.
All I want is a coffee mug, Mark. I still don't have a T-stud coffee mug.
My coffee mug went down the road with Bob Kelly. I couldn't find it in the truck, so we're obligated to buy more coffee mugs. But you're exactly right. But it's not just T-stud. It's everyone that Andrew chose. It's specifically it's less impact on the force. Everything he does is less impact and greater rewards. I mean, shoot, I'm still fumbling over high tech from May, right? And that's what it is. It's high tech, beautiful. Maybe the Texas heat is still getting to me, guys.
It might be. All right, next comment here. We're going to wrap this up in just a few moments. Question from Jennifer. Pound solar powered one wheel, easy to build moonlight solar powered showers. Andrew Seeley, can you share some easy DIY tips that you have incorporated into your campground? Okay, now, Andrew, I said this to you when we were on location, and I'm not excited about this at all. But if you're out there and you're watching the show, Diana and others, he truly is off grid. And there are so many things on this property that I will be incorporating into probably the motorhome as well as wherever I end up after this journey that are DIY tips to have outdoor solar powered showers. Tankless water heaters, and they're not tens of thousands of dollars to install. They're hundreds of dollars. Andrew, if you don't start showcasing some of these things that you've done on your site, I'm literally going to have to come back there and do it myself, and I'll take all the credit.
Okay.
So you're absolutely right. You do have a lot of DIY stuff on there that we all could learn from.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question to answer quickly, but over the years that I've tried to set up the infrastructure so that I could come here and set up the infrastructure, it did involve a lot of very simple DIY stuff. I use scraps from other projects that I hauled down here and put to use, electrical, plumbing, everything like that, lumber. So, you know, we had running water and electricity. It was just 12-volt solar and a building with a roof and rainwater collection, everything. All of that was operational for under $10,000. So, you know, that's with $4,000 of labor and $1,200 of wood. So, I mean, 2016 was when we did that, but still,
Right.
it is pretty simple to do. Obviously you have to have the property to work with, and you need to be able to be there enough to figure out where to put things. And, you know, the road, just the detail of putting in the road that we had to create to get up here. I knew where I wanted to put the building, but I had no idea how I was going to get the road in here. And that sort of all happened last October. And it was definitely 11th hour, but it worked out really well. And we were able to figure out a way to get the road up here without killing a bunch of oak trees. So it's all part of it.
All right, so stay tuned for a new YouTube channel from Andrew Seeley coming out soon. DIY off-grid living techniques. Topanga Co., great stuff.
Thank you.
Gilbert Meyer in the house all the way from Honduras. MMC3 is working on off-grid solutions as well. Let's collaborate. I love it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Great, Gilbert.
Yeah, good to have you on, Gilbert. All right, listen, Andrew, that is a wrap for our show today. So people want to reach out to you. You can connect with Andrew on LinkedIn. Just send him a, DM him. You're on Instagram, I think, and some of the other ones. Yep. I got to get on some of these other channels. I just don't have. You guys are everywhere.
We're pretty much LinkedIn and Instagram primarily. We post other places, but, it's only so much time. So,
yeah. I love it. Well, listen, Mark, I appreciate you jumping on with us today and joining us to talk about this. It was a lot of fun. By the way, that was not a professionally shot video. That was just us with our smartphone and just doing it old school style out on the job site. And I think it came out pretty good. It was a pretty cool video, and it was a lot of fun to do with everybody. Andrew, you have an amazing team of people out there working with you. So let's not forget, it's not just Andrew out there. He has some people that are working with him and always learning, and some of them just went to some EMU training, if I recall, or they're getting ready to go and coming back. So they're doing some amazing stuff.
Yep.
Awesome. All right,
Thank
everybody.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Mark, and you guys stay right there, and everybody else. We will be back. What is today? On Friday. Who's on with me on Friday?
I think
Mark Dave.
I'm sure Andrew will be in the audience. Him and Greg Ugaldi and George Ryman. I don't think the three of them have missed an episode. Bless their hearts. But we'll be having a teacher on, Dave, Matt Bloomquist.
So we will see you Friday. We're still working through some things here, but on timing, hopefully we got a lot of things going on in the back end here. But we will be live on Friday, BS Friday, so you guys stay tuned for that. And then Monday, we have some big architects coming on the show. And Wednesday, another big show. I just don't have it all in front of me. I'm scrambling today. But with that said, Mark, Friday's the day. That's a day and a half, not even a day from today. A day and a half. What are we? 1 day from now.
I think what it tells me, Dave, is that means on Thursday, people could go and watch the previous episode you and Andrew recorded on YouTube and share it with your network, please. That's why we're here, so we can all share.
That's it. All right, everybody. So hit that like and share button one more time. And if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you're wrong. We are getting over 100,000 minutes a month watched. I don't know why they send it to you in minutes. I guess it sounds better in hours, but 100,000 anything is pretty darn cool in my book. Too bad it's not dollars, but it's 100,000 minutes. All right, everybody. I'm Dave Cooper, Mark Bare Naked Willie, Andrew Seeley. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll come right back to you after the outro. Bye now.